All right, you guys ready to help me make the world a better place? All right, I've got something you can do from the comfort of your own home, from the comfort of your own couch to change the world. Are you ready? Become happy and confident. Happy and confident people. If we all became happy and confident people, the world would change overnight. Why is that? Why is that? So when you can generate your own state of happiness, you don't need anything from anyone. You set everyone in your life free. You don't need your partner to behave a certain way. You don't need your kids to behave a certain way. You just are happy. And in that, they can do whatever they want to do, and you are still happy. We have so much going on in our society where we're making other people responsible for our emotional states. Ladies, calling out the ladies here. It's not that this doesn't apply to dudes, but I have the experience with being a lady, obviously. So that's generally where I'm going to speak from. But we are so often making our partners and children responsible for our happiness. We actually seem to think it's a form of communication, which is fascinating. Like if I get mad enough, then my children will fall into line, or my partner will fall into line if I just start to act angry. But all that does is teach those people that they're responsible for my emotional condition. And when we're using our emotions to cause a change in others' behaviors and not making direct, open, honest requests, we're teaching them when they go out in the world that they're responsible for sensing that and changing their behavior in others, be it at an other authority or people that are close to them. And you know this is going on when you have a parent say to you, my kids are so easy to influence out in the world. You're like, okay, they're easy to influence out in the world because you taught them that your influence was more important than their own internal voice, right? We need to start trusting other people's internal voice and allowing them to speak from that place and protect that, especially in our kids. And the home run for that is being a happy, confident person. Because if I'm happy and confident, if I get knocked out of that, like say someone does something that knocks me out of feeling happy, because I'm confident, because I know my own internal voice and my own ability to know my emotions and speak, which is part of being confident, then I can make a powerful request or tell them or say, hey, when you did that, really hurt my feelings or upset me, and this is why, and you're not responsible for making me feel okay, but could we talk this out? Could we get this addressed because something about this behavior isn't working for me? Like if you pee all over the toilet, and then I have to clean it, or I have to look at it, or I just cleaned it, it feels insensitive, just for an example. And then asking that person how they think it should be solved. This is so powerful, right? Okay, so you peed all over the toilet. So what do you think you could do about that? How could we work this out? And I don't need them to grovel. I don't need them to apologize because I'm happy and confident. I just need a solution. I don't want to focus on the problem too long. Who wants to focus about pee on a toilet, right? But it happens. We all know it happens. But when I'm coming from that place, I'm not making people responsible for me. I don't have a terrible afternoon now because they did that. I don't feel hurt, like you don't love mommy, or I don't make it about all this drama. And there's a real imbalance that happens here with partnership too, where I am making my partner responsible for my own happiness. And ladies, it is so, so huge to be happy and confident on your own. First of all, if you're happy and confident when you're just single and on your own, all the guys are going to flock to you anyway, because they don't feel that sort of unconscious message that they're responsible for your feelings. Like you can actually control your own feelings on your own, because it's such a big issue we have. They had a lot of that generally with their moms, and probably don't really want that in a partner. It's very attractive to feel like you're not responsible for how your partner feels. It's very freeing. We free everyone. Excuse me. Oh, we free them in a whole new way, right? Woo! I feel so free. I'm phlegmy free. Emmy free. So when we're free though, when we free everyone else, we allow them to be who they are, then they want to be in relationship with us in a totally different way, because they can be. When someone feels like they're responsible for how you feel, you limit the freedom in your relationship. In fact, you're trapping them, because you're sending them a message that they have to behave a certain way. Otherwise, you're going to get unhappy. And that's manipulative. And you're also teaching people to be deceptive. So if I'm up to something that may upset you, but I'm responsible for how you feel, there's no way I can be honest and tell you what's going to upset you, because it's going to knock your whole world off course. You aren't on your own 2 feet. And ladies, we are powerful. You are a powerful woman. There's nothing you want more than to stand on your own 2 feet and not feel like you're like a candle in the wind. This is something that can be so overwhelming, and it's a deep part of our insecurity. And it's why we resent people in our lives. The reality is, you can teach your partner to behave a different way when you do your little emotional mood changes, right? So if I get a little madder, maybe my husband will clean a little more. I don't have to actually ask. But at the same time, while that could work in the short term and make you feel a little better, over time, you are going to resent your partner, because he's not being honest with you, first of all, and he shouldn't be so weak that you can influence him with a little bit of a mood shift. We don't respect that. Sorry. And he's not looking at us and telling us what we need to hear from a partner. We need to hear him say, you are a powerful woman, and you are capable of generating your own happiness, and I am not responsible for it, right? Because as long as we're making him responsible for it and he's not giving it to us the way that we need, we get so resentful, so controlling. It is not your partner's job to make you feel happy. Now, if they want to contribute to it, that's fantastic. But it's my job as a powerful woman. I can stand and figure out what it takes to make me happy. And I don't need anyone's approval for it either. We have a list going on a lot in society where we think, I need everyone to approve of me, right? In order for me to be okay. But the beautiful thing about the West and about America is that we have choices. We have choices. And if someone disagrees with your choice, who cares? It doesn't affect, that is part of the freedom. If I can have this choice and I have the freedom to make this choice, then other people have the freedom to disagree with my choice. And if I'm a happy, confident person, I could care less. Go disagree with it, hold a sign, make a statement. As long as I have the freedom to make this choice, nobody else needs to even know. Much less do I need them to approve of it to feel okay. That's something where we're being taught very young, again, that other people's approval, and it starts with the parents, right, is what means if I'm making a good decision or a bad decision. And that's when you also know people are choosing things based on approval rather than whether or not it really makes them happy. And when we're not happy, we are out of whack, guys. And when we are insecure, we don't enjoy life. We do all kinds of toxic, strange behaviors. When you're confident, you don't need anything from anyone, and you free, again, everyone in your life. This can even be with clients. If you're a coach or a therapist or a doctor, anything in a kind of service field like that, oftentimes we need our clients to stay sick, or we need our clients to adjust or heal or be better in order for us to feel okay. Or I need more clients to make more money, right? There's not a freedom where we can really be a practitioner because we don't feel confident and complete and whole and happy on our own. That's why I say only happy people can help anyone. Only a happy person can help you, because they don't need you to do anything different to feel better. Even if they are a highly experienced practitioner, if they're not okay, then they are going to energetically want or need something from you in order to help them feel better. And that doesn't set you up to have freedom as a client or patient to do what you need to do to just be. And we're seeing a lot of that, right? And that the business needs to make money, for example. That's the main thing we're seeing right now. I need to make money, so I need something from you, like to be sick, so I can make more money. And so we're seeing more and more sickness rather than more and more happiness and health, which really, with our medical system and all the pills and medication we have, we should be healthier and happier than ever. But we're not, and it's the very basis of that relationship. In order to have that relationship, you have to be unwell in order to engage. It's not going to work, right? We need to have conversations about wellness, about happiness, about confidence, and you not needing anyone. And then those industries will panic because it's like, well, I need sick people to have an industry. But we'll figure it out, I assure you. It's all about being happy. You're healed when you're happy. You're well when you're happy. You have great relationships. You have children who are also well and happy and healthy. They can go out into the world as happy, healthy agents that don't need other people to approve of them. Other people's emotions don't affect them. They're just free to move about the world. And then when you see someone who's in pain or needs something, one, it doesn't take you off your kilter. You still feel great. And two, you can actually be there for them and not have it impact you, which again gives them the freedom to be where they're at, and maybe even gives them the freedom to look at you and be like, what is going on with that person? I want it. And they'll be like, well, what are you doing right? I'm happy. How are you happy? I do things that make me happy. How? Do you have a big boat? Do you have an awesome husband and a big house? And I will assure you, you'll be like, no. I mean, not that I don't have those things, but I'm just happy. And I've always been happy, and I'm capable of generating my own happiness. I can tell you there's nothing worse than having the things that look great on paper and still feeling absolutely miserable. It's a very dark place because we think that happiness comes from external means for an internal condition, and it just doesn't work that way. Whether it's someone else's behavior or something you own, right? Or something you have, for me, a big piece of it would have been, I'm making a lot of money, I have a big job. It didn't make me happy, but I felt that was something that sort of made me seem better in other people's eyes. It really impresses people. And I didn't have really the heart. I didn't even know how to say, I might have that, but it's making me miserable. I absolutely hate what I'm doing. And it's interesting because in the eyes of the world, it looks very backwards. Like I've taken steps down, I'm making less money, but I'm freaking happy. And that's the currency that we want. That's the currency that we need in life, is not to get the things so we look cooler in others' eyes. It's doing the things that actually make us happy. And then I can help affect change. And then I can be a great partner or a great mom or a great sister or a great aunt or whatever it is, because I'm just enjoying who I'm with when they're in front of me. And I don't need anything from them. So, it probably got a little rambly, but I think you get the gist. Step one to change the world. What do you want to do, or what could you do in this moment to make you feel better? And I don't mean like a physical pleasure, like get laid or eat a cookie, even though I highly recommend these German cookies. They're delicious. I've had a few. I'm talking about long-term happiness, like selling your big house that's got that big mortgage that's got you stuck in a job that you absolutely hate because you actually can't spend time with your family and people you love. I know it's scary. It's not going to look cool on Facebook, but in the long run, you're going to be much happier. Or figuring out what really has you unhappy in your personal life and not making your kids or your partner responsible for it anymore. Sitting down with them and having a mission conversation and saying, you know what, guys, I know I can sort of subtly be miserable a lot and you guys feel like you're supposed to do something as a result of that, but I'm not going to make you responsible for my happiness anymore. If I need something from you, I'm going to make a direct, open, honest request that is solvable in some way. A solution-based conversation that says, this is a problem that's happening for me. It's taking away from my ability to be happy. Here is what I see as a solution. What do you guys see as a solution? And then cleaning up my behavior and not having sort of that passive aggressive manipulative mood, but I'm going to ask for it, they're going to give it to me, and then it's my responsibility to be happier and say, wow, they gave that to me. That's so great. That's off my plate. There's no more pee on the toilet or whatever it is. And now I'm going to realize something else is bugging me. If you lived unhappy for a long time, it's not going to be a simple process, right? There's a lot of layers to it, but it's about beginning the process of asking yourself, why am I unhappy? Because my husband did this. Okay, maybe that's part of it, but I assure you, if you're unhappy and you're constantly blaming your husband, even if you get your husband out of the picture, it's going to become something else. It's just going to be something else you're blaming. As long as you're blaming something outside of you for a feeling inside of you, or think you need something outside of you to get a feeling inside of you, it's never going to work. It doesn't work that way. Don't ask me how I know that, but it doesn't. You have to start with changing how you feel inside. And it's in little increments. What feels really good to me in this moment? Going for a walk, going to the gym, journaling, you know, because we don't make time for ourselves. For some reason, we really want to avoid that. And there's something in that. We think we're super busy, like we glorify busy now. But when you don't have any time for yourself, you are avoiding something. Most likely something that is making you unhappy. And I know it can be really scary to look in the mirror and really go diving into yourself to figure out what you're really upset about. Like maybe you treat people really poorly. Maybe you have a lot of regrets in your past. And you get to address that. You get to resolve that, because there's nothing more freeing than forgiveness, than working all that out. That's how I've gotten so happy, right? Facing my stuff and dealing with it, taking accountability, taking different action. And now I have self-esteem because I've done esteemable acts. And I've observed myself doing it. No one else can give me self-esteem. That's why it's called self-esteem. And you can't get there without doing esteemable acts. I heard that one time and it was the most brilliant thing to me. And I followed it and it works. That's enough out of me today. Love ya.